Join me in the pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah, I want to go.
I guess I know.
I'll go ahead and use the mic since it's set up. Thank you very much. We have a consideration of agenda addition here. This is item 12. I'd entertain a motion to add this to the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Motion carries to add 12. Now, invitations to members of the audience to speak to items on the agenda. Seeing none, we will move right to a communication.
I think Sam was going to move it so that we get to that. You got it? Okay. Really?
I don't have permission to do that one.
Oh, that's a bummer. Okay. Well, suffice it to say, number one, I can't figure out how to turn this mic on.
Or is it on? Oh, it is on, never mind. We did get a letter from the officials at the Garrett football game, the sectional championship. Oh, you've got it right there. Commending our students for their behavior and tremendous sportsmanship during the game, throughout the entire game, even after the loss, and also our coaching staff. So it's always great to hear wonderful things about our staff and our students, so we wanted to make sure that we shared that with the board.
Thank you. You are up again with the report.
Okay, first up, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Shakow so he can tell us all about the wonderful things happening here at Junior Senior High.
We on? Can I click? Awesome. Okay, so a few things I wanted to hit for you today. One thing is a new thing we're doing this year in lieu of people not coming to parent-teacher conferences. We decided to kind of rebrand what we were doing for parent-teacher conferences and made them into student and parent success nights. So in addition to what the teachers do that night of meeting with parents, we're hoping to bring more of them in. We have 4 of those nights, just like we always did for parent-teachers, only they're not like back-to-back nights or anything like that, like the elementaries do to meet with all their families. So we have them spread out 1 per quarter. Our next one is a week from today. And in that, we have some workshops for parents, like Schoology help. Something we found at our level, even though we've been at Schoology, I think, for 7 or 8 years now. A lot of parents don't know, 5. A lot of parents don't know exactly how to operate the system, so they kind of give up on it and just take their kid's word for it, which often leads to misinformation of whether or not stuff's turned in. So we're trying to make them better consumers of that so they can help out keep their kids on track. This Wednesday, we're going over iLearn checkpoints and how to read that data and what your kid might need. Those are some things that usually also elementary teachers are able to go over with their families when they meet with them. We just don't necessarily have that same ability because people don't attend those nights near as well for us. So I'm hoping by packaging it with something else to say this is worth coming to. So then parent-teacher conferences, right, with the teachers, but also I have Nick Martin coming in to do a talk 2 times in that night about internet safety and social media. He has a really good presentation on how kids can sometimes get trapped in what's called sexploitation of they make a mistake with their phone, they text an inappropriate picture to somebody, and then they're blackmailed for money kind of stuff. How to talk to your kids about that, how to avoid peer pressure type situations like that from Nick Martin, who, if you don't know, that's his role in the police is internet crimes against kids is what he handles around here for us. So I'm very excited to have him in to talk about that, to kind of help your child. It's one of the things I hear from parents the most. Like, I don't even know how to help them on Snapchat or anything like that. I don't even know what to do, right? So trying to give parents some tools there. And then also we usually have a CTE update where kind of exposing all the pathways we have to parents so they can talk about it with their kids as well. Any questions about student-parent success night? There was not, in the first one, there was not necessarily an uptick in attendance for that yet, but we're hoping as the word continues to get out that it happens every 6 weeks or so for us, that they will be more attended. Yep. I don't want to say it wrong, but it's like I think the first one's at 5 and the second one's at 6:30. I tried to put it on either side of dinner so that people could, if they were coming up to meet with teachers first, they could have that. So that's that will be on the post to go out, or the thrill share that goes out. I'll have the specific times on it for that too. So this is something cool on our school goals. You guys know through our board retreat and stuff, we had school goals that we set last year, and then we continued them. One of those things for us last year was we wanted our ninth graders to be on track at the end of graduation, or at the end of their ninth grade year. There's a lot of data out there that says if you have 10 credits or more by the end of your ninth grade year, your chances of graduating with a high school diploma skyrocket. So we made one of our goals around that to have all of our freshmen on track to graduate with 10 credits or more by the end of their freshman year. And this is the data that we found from last year with that goal. So we went back a little ways. The class of 2024, which was 2 classes ago, and the class of 25, which was last spring, at the end of their freshman year, 24 of those 162 did not have 10 credits. And if you look at the most recent graduates, 30 of them didn't have enough credits. So that was kind of a bit of our track record, 20 or 15%. We're going the right way here. The class of 2026, which is this year's seniors, 18% of them, when they were freshmen, didn't have that. And our current juniors, 16% of that class did not have 10 credits by the time they were done as freshmen. However, our class of 2028, which is current sophomores, which is the first group we've had this goal around, only 5 students did not get 10 credits toward the end of the year. And I wanted to highlight to that for you guys because it really highlighted to me and my staff of like when you're focusing on that, what change actually happens. I mean, you look at the trends there, 16, 18, 15, 20% is the norm. And we got it all the way down to 4.4% of that graduating class. Now there's an asterisk there because 2 of those students don't actually attend here. They are off-site. They go to a different campus than ours for their needs. And 2 of those students actually came to us halfway through the year from another school. And only one of those students that we started with, only one did not have 10 credits at the end of the full year with us. And I was super excited about that. A lot of that is hard work by the staff, and also Jennifer May, our guidance counselor for 7 through 9. She stayed on top of them, grabbed those at-risk kids that we were able to track, and through some PLC work and her conferencing one-on-one, it really showed kids somebody's watching, right? Which I think is what happened back here with these other classes, is some kids failed enough classes and nothing happened necessarily, right? They were still able to kind of move on. I'm just going to take freshman English as a sophomore and I'll get caught up at some point. But with this group, our current sophomores, they knew somebody was watching their grades. And when you have that one caring adult in your life, great things can happen. So I was super excited about that. We took that goal and we moved it outward to all of our grades then, not just focusing on ninth graders, but actually saying we are going to push out to all grades that we have control over in this building when we're talking about credits, and really having those meetings and going with that. So last thing I wanted to talk about, just kind of a futuristic side of it. The state came in and said all schools are going to have to go back to letter grades. They have to have a plan for that by December 31st of this year. And this is partially what that is, what I was going to share with you tonight. We're going back to letter grades, and it's going to be based on your total points divided by your total number of students. So every single student is going to be pulling up points for our school for some various things. But what will happen is they'll get us an average of that and say we are an A school, B school, or whatever based on our point average that gets fed into by all students. So it kind of changed from what it used to be based on a lot on test scores there's nothing, what am I trying to say? The rigor of your diplomas. So how many kids got academic honors or technical honors, that kind of stuff. That all went into it. That's no longer really the factor. Right now it's academic mastery plus these other things they call like skill points. And I'll get into that in just a second. But the academic mastery for our building is based on, you can see it over here on the left part of this column, high school credits at the end of 9th grade. So I was actually pretty pumped when they came up with that because we were already working on that. I'm like, oh, dude, we're really good at that. That's going to be their academic mastery for our building. And then you can see they have to have a certain amount of credits in there. So you can't just have 10 credits. You have to have 2 English, 2 math, and 2 science, social studies, or foreign language is what that FL is. So you can, just looking at this table, I'll just explain it to you really quick. So let's say I got my 10 credits. I'm going to end up here and get 55 points for the high school. Then if I hit a success factor also, which if you've read it yet, those are up there. I got them on another slide too. You keep moving over and get points, right? So if you hit 3 of these things that are up here, like you got 94% attendance or better, or you pass the biology ECA, you move over a column each time, and that's how your individual points are contributed. So if I am approaching, so I wasn't a part of that 4.4 because I got 8 or 9 credits, I still get 25 points. In the previous way they used to do this for school grades, it was all or nothing, right? So this way you can still get credit for kids that are doing things they maybe just, some of those subjects were over their head and they didn't get those credits. But if you got 7 or less, you get no points unless you're also doing these things, right? And one of those things that's interesting is if you get to 20 credits by the end of your 10th grade year, which includes summer school of that year, then you can earn a success point. So let's say I was here at the end of my freshman year, I had 7 credits, but I busted and I get 13 the next year, I'm going to move over a column because I hit one of those success points. It's a lot, but that's kind of where they're heading. These are the success indicators. These aren't set in stone yet. They're still open for public comment until the 17th of November. But this is where a lot of the push is coming from. So you got 94% attendance or better, which for us is you can miss, well, for everybody because it's 180 days, you can miss only up to 10 days. After 10 days, you dip under that 94%. And that's a message we really need to get out as we are talking to influential communicators in our area of like, you can only have 10 because after 10, when you get to 94% or lower in your attendance, your academics, research points to, your academics just tank. Like your ability to pass classes goes way, way down. So I think that's going to be attainable for a lot of kids, and that's going to move them over a column almost automatically, right? If you're showing up, and I'm going to put this somewhere in the school, I just haven't figured out where, but the best ability you have is availability, right? Get here. Get to school, right? And then you can kind of see some of these other things. College Ready benchmark on the PSAT that we take in the fall. We did very well on that. I think Alexa's going to share about that too. Passing ECA biology, but at the time you're done with a sophomore, some of the things we're looking at, when do we offer that? We usually have offered that freshman year. But what we're looking at is if we don't have to pass it until 10th grade, maybe we wait and take biology, we shake up a little bit of how we do science. Those are discussions we're not going to have for a little while, but that's something we're talking about too. Because as a sophomore, you might be a little bit more mature in your brain that you could have actually done better on that test. 2 credits, I also think we're set up as a school very well for this. 2 credits in an advanced CTE course. What they mean by advanced in that is it's not like our principles class. Principles of business wouldn't fall into this, but the next one, accounting, those would, right? So by sophomore year, we've got a lot of our kids into their pathway already within their program of study, so that will help us as well. You can kind of see the rest of them up there. College and career coursework, what they're talking about with that are dual credit classes. We don't have a lot of dual credit at the freshman level, but students are getting into that as they get into their sophomore year. We're looking at what could we offer in the 9th grade year. A lot of our engineering classes are that dual credit. You can get into those ag classes that are dual credit as well. So looking for those opportunities early on so that if you hit that, even if you're not doing well credit-wise, but you're getting C's or better in some other things, you're still moving over. You can get 75 points. If you hit 3 of those things on that list, you're still hitting 75, and you're just driving our average up. That make sense? Cool. That's the end of my slides. Any questions on that or what's happening past, present, or future at the junior, senior high? No? Good. I think we've been set up by planning very well so far into where the state's heading as well.
Thank you. All right, next up is Alexis Grossman. She's going to give you some student data.
And I'm going to try not to cough all the way through it. It's going to be really fun. Okay, so like Jason said, we just finished up the PSAT NMSTQ. Jason and I have talked about taking it in the spring. However, state of Indiana, we have to take it in the fall. We don't get that option. The one thing we could do is move 9th grade to this spring, but I am not allowed to share the scores out yet. Dr. Blaze will share them with you in board notes because you are allowed to see them, but because we're live streaming, I cannot show them here tonight. But just so you know, we had an average of 45 points, which is 15 points above average growth on from the PSAT 9 to the PSAT NMSQT. So we had a really good showing this time. We were really proud of our students. We're working on their growth goals that our school set for them. So our 10th graders did really well. We're excited to see what the 11th graders do in March. I'm going through Jason's slides. I'm going the wrong way. There we go. Okay, so then we did just finish up our iLearn checkpoints. This is some data I can show you that we have so far. At the top is district-wide. You can see how many students we have and what percentages we have in the green, blue, and yellow. So blue, again, is above, green is at, yellow is approaching, and red is below. So what we're doing with this data, though, is we are meeting with the individual teams. We started at the junior, senior high. And what we're going to do is we're having them choose a group of students that they want to focus on. And we are going to go ahead and give them the iLearn checkpoint opportunity 2. So again, these checkpoints, they get 2 opportunities if you choose to use them. So what we're going to do is we're implementing 4 things that the teachers feel like they can control. Oftentimes we're like, the kids don't want to do it. And I get it. I don't want to take standardized tests either. But like, what can we control as teachers? So what we worked on is talking about their instruction, their feedback, their support, and their curriculum. So what could they focus on in those things to help a group of students grow? So we're asking each teacher to choose at the junior, senior high that gives the checkpoints in math or English to choose 6 to 10 kids to focus on. And before Christmas break, we are going to give them iLearn checkpoint 1, opportunity 2, to see if we can move some numbers, make a difference in these kiddos. Same thing for English. We are about on track as where we were last year. So we're going to try to implement this opportunity 2 point to see if we can make the numbers move a little bit, move that needle, and hopefully have a good predictor then for the summative in the spring. The one new thing coming out this year that we received is they're coming out with the process standards for math. They're doing proficiency level descriptors for the process standards. So I'm working with the teachers on those too. It gives them kind of questions they should be asking in their classroom, things the students should know how to do, questions the students should be able to answer, and hopefully that'll help drive those math scores up as well. Just not knowing how to solve a problem, but actually why they're doing what they're doing to solve the problem. So that's my report tonight.
Just a quick question for clarity. The iLearn checkpoints, are those like a grade for the school, or is it only the summative at the end that is?
Only the summative. So these do not go to the state at all. They do give us a summative predictor to tell us if the student is on track to pass, but they do not actually get reported to the state for us to be graded on them or anything. So they do not go towards any kind of accountability at this time.
That's what I thought, but I wanted to make sure.
Do you have a question?
I did forget one thing.
What did you forget?
The play is December 6th and 7th. 6th in the evening, 7th is a matinee, and staff doesn't get in free soon. It does. They do. They get in free.
Staff will get in free
Yeah.
to the play.
Are you sure?
I am 100% sure, and my wife's taking tickets, I think, so we'll be good.
Okay, the final part of the superintendent report is the Lakeland by the numbers. So that is our monthly report on enrollment. We did go down 9 students from last month. So we are now below where I predicted we were going to be. If you remember, my prediction in May was that we would be at 1403. We are now at 1401, but obviously there can be some fluctuation in those numbers when you look at the trends for the other years. So we may see another uptick, we may not. So that is the enrollment report. Next up is the treasurer's report. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. So at the end of this October, we are at 83% of the year, after the year. And for our ed fund, we have collected $11.2 million, or 84.86%. And our operations fund, we collected $4.8 million, or 67.1%. And for expenditures, we have expended. Sorry, it's dark in here, and I'm having a hard time reading. We have spent, our ed fund is $12.2 million, or 79.66% of our expenditure budget, or 92.3% of our revenue budget. In our operations fund, we have spent almost $7.3 million, 88.5% of our expenditure budget, or 100.6% of our revenue budget. So as you know, we've had a lot of expenditures in repairs through the summer, and actually I think we had, if I compared last year to this year on my master sheet, we had, I believe it was about $100,000 more in repairs, $100,000 more this time last year. So it's not helping things, but hopefully we're getting things to the point where we're getting more into maintenance mode instead of fixing everything mode. So that's what I have for you tonight. Any questions?
Does the board have any questions? I'll lead that into my report. I would like for the board to get together and have a budget meeting. We've talked about this, and we need to kind of iron out the dates, and I think we need to go over and have a good look at this. So if you guys can get with me, I know we kind of sent some messages about when, but let's, if you could send a proposal out. We're going to have to be creative because we can't use our boardroom. So if we can find a location.
Use anything in here.
He's saying
Our conference room, you can use our conference room. We'll get it cleared out for you if you need to use it.
Okay.
Or you can have my office. Very rarely in there.
Okay. And then also I wanted to congratulate our volleyball team and their regional win. That was awesome. Love to see a team do something that we haven't done in a very long time. And it's very hard to do as a team to get out of that sectional and to win the regional. So very proud of them. Very proud of that program. So great job. Outside of that, we'll move on with the rest of the meeting. Item 1 is the common school loan. This is for technology.
Yes. We have, I don't have it in front of me. I think it was
140,900.
900. Okay. Couldn't remember exactly. All right. So I'm actually requesting $140,880, and that's $20 less due to the way the math worked with purchasing some Chromebooks and some interactive panels. The Chromebooks, I believe, were for teachers, and the interactive panels are for classrooms, which are also for teachers, but for the students as well. So we're using the fall loan for that. Because we did the spring common school loan, we used that for student laptops or the Chromebooks for them. So that's what this is for.
Thank you. I'd entertain a motion to approve the common school loan.
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Motion carries. Next is item 2. This is the tennis coach contract donation reversal. The stipend split. Does the board have any questions about this? I'd entertain a motion to approve. I have a motion. And a second. Is there any more discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Motion carries. 3 is a conflict of interest here. Item 3, you guys have seen that, knew that was coming, and entertain a motion to approve that.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second by Kara. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Motion carries. 4 is the classified handbook revisions. Is there anything that you wanted to cover?
There was just 2 simple changes. One is a top rate. One is a top rate. The second item is with transportation. Anybody being hired on as a bus driver will just start out at $25 an hour. Those sub-classifications really aren't pertinent anymore. So we wanted to change that. Anybody hired after today would receive that.
What was the first one?
The building substitute rate limit just increased.
Entertain a motion to approve these revisions.
Second.
We got a motion and a second. Is there any more discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Motion carries. Now we'll move to the administrative handbook revisions.
The only thing that changed was in regards to holidays. In July, we added a floating holiday, but with the changes that we did for the other classified staff, we're revising that to remove the floating holiday, adding the second day for 4th of July, and adding New Year's Eve, So just kind of aligning with what we did with the classified staff. That's the only change.
Entertain a motion to approve the administrative handbook revision.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Sue, second. All in favor? Motion carries. This is a first reading of the transportation handbook. Next.
Only thing I removed is some QR codes. That is the only thing I changed. Because they weren't linking properly.
Okay. I would open for a motion here.
Second.
Do we want to waive the first reading or are we good?
Is the board interested in motioning to waive the second reading?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to waive the second reading.
Second.
I have a motion to waive it and a second. Is there any more discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Motion carries. We got there. Okay, item 7 is employment. A through F.
Just some highlights on the employment is that we are covering stipends for Lizzie Brumbaugh, who was doing both vocal and instrumental music for us at the junior senior high. So she has several stipends that she's entitled to have. And then just some other hirings that we've had, coaches and substitute teachers, kinds of good stuff going on.
Entertain a motion for 7.
So moved. Second.
Sue has, excuse me. Sue has the motion. Derek has the second. Is there any more discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Motion carries. We'll move to 8. These are transfers. Is there one transfer? I entertain a motion to approve this transfer from 6th to 7th. Great. We have a motion.
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion? Seeing none. All in favor? Motion carries. This is Next is item 9. This is a volunteer coach. Entertain a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none. All in favor? Motion carries. 10 is a resignation. Do you want to speak on these? Or?
One is a theater director position is being resigned, and then we have a special ed paraprofessional. While we like to be everybody's destination, that just isn't always the case.
Entertain a motion for 10. I have a motion for Kara, second Sue. Is there any more discussion? Seeing none. All in favor? Motion carries. So the next is the consent agenda.
So on the consent agenda is a donation from the Taylor Patterson Memorial Foundation, and we do have representatives here that can talk about what their foundation is about and why they are donating to Lakeland.
Wonderful.
Welcome to a microphone.
Oh, yeah.
Are you dangerous with one? We don't know yet.
Well, you'll find out.
I like that.
I'm not a speaker, by the way. My name is Glenn Patterson, and my daughter is Taylor Patterson, who died of cancer 2 years ago, breast cancer. And it's tough for me to talk about it, time still. And what our foundation does is help support the dental field. We have actually given out scholarships. We haven't given any scholarship. We got scholarship applications out for 26 for students in Noble and LaGrange County. And that's about it, really. We're proud of your dental program you have going on there, so we want to donate money to it, the grant to it.
Excellent. Is the scholarship, is there any, they have to be a dental student or going into the dental
Going
field?
to dental field.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a two-year thing. It's $1,500 the first year and $3,000 the second year.
Okay, wonderful. That's a very nice
Yeah.
scholarship. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Very generous of you. I would now entertain a motion to approve 11 through, and this is A through E.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Motion carries. 12 is board policy.
Yes, we were given another packet of updates from Neola, which is our policy service that we utilize. And I have made the necessary changes to those and shared those with the board.
Is there anybody on the committee that would like to highlight anything? Okay, all right. Entertain a motion to approve 12.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and Shelley with the second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Motion carries. At this time, we will move to public comments. Persons wishing to make the board aware of suggestions or ideas and/or comments may address the board at this time. Comments which involve personnel or students may be discussed in private. Okay, we'll move to board member comments. Does the board have anything?
I just have one comment. I only made one of the veteran programs this year. Get licensed.
Yes, you
I only made one of the veteran programs this year because of schedule, not Lakeland's problem, my problem with that. But I went to the primary and Kim and her kids put on a great program. So I appreciate that coming from a military background, that we celebrate that all the time. Thanks.
Thank you.
Is there any more comments? Okay, we will be meeting again December 10th, and it will be at the intermediate school. And then intermediate, Shelley?
I underlined it.
Okay. All right. 6:30 at the intermediate on December 10th. I'd entertain a motion to adjourn. We have a motion and a second from Derek. All in favor? Motion carries. Thank you all for attending. Thank you very much.
Thank you.